Okay, so tell us, Angie, who you are and what you do.
Okay, I'm Angie Taffs and I am a small business coach or small business specialist, I call myself now. I'm a qualified business advisor in the UK, and I've done business advice for many years, working for other organisations, running other people's businesses. And a couple of years ago now, 3 years ago, I set up my own face-to-face business consultancy locally.
Yeah.
And found that I was so bogged down, stretching myself so thin, I decided to move my coaching online. So I now do online coaching, specifically working with women who are running their own, particularly home-based businesses, where they're feeling a bit isolated, alone, and help, I don't know how to do everything on my own. Where do I go for help?
Well, we all know that one.
Oh, yeah. I've done it.
Did you do all of your stuff online, or do you still do some one-to-ones?
I still do some one-to-one locally, yes, but
Yeah.
I've very much, I've scaled that back because I was travelling around Devon, Cornwall and Somerset. The hours were so long, and I thought, hang on, I'm not getting the quality of life that I want. So, and that was important for me.
Why wouldn't we run our own businesses if it didn't give us a quality of life?
Exactly. Yeah. I like traveling, so I can do my online coaching from wherever I am. So it makes a huge difference.
So your website says it has everything you need to create a successful home business.
Yes.
So what sort of businesses are people setting up at home these days?
There's such a variety. I have got the ladies who've sort of taken a hobby, so say home crafts and art, and moved that into a business, right through to I've got accountants who've decided to get away from, again, the travelling, the city, and actually set up from home.
Yeah.
I've got some ladies, a couple of jewellers who are importing their own, importing jewellery, and others who are making their own. So it's such a wide variety, and some who are doing specific educational schools, sort of slightly outside of the normal school curricula, and running that from their homes.
You must get to work with so many different sort of people and ideas and creation.
Yeah.
And
that's what I love, is the variety. I don't just say, well, I'm only going to work with cookies, or I'm only going to work with that. I love the variety. It's fantastic.
It's great. So as I'm a speaking coach, I'm quite interested in how people use their voice for their business.
Yeah.
You find that by telling people what you do, that sort of helps to grow your business?
Do you mean like I'm talking?
Actually speaking, yeah. Like public speaking or events and...
Absolutely. I think when people can actually see you and hear you, they buy into you. Well, anybody can write up a web page and put their marketing material out there, but it's when people connect. And I've done it myself, where I've spoken to people and you sort of feel a connection. And some people, for whatever reason, you think, actually, no, I don't like their voice, or it breaks, or it's just not for me.
Yeah, I've met a few.
They're not too many.
No, not many.
So, yeah, I always think when somebody can actually hear you, hear your passion, and realise, yes, you do know what you're talking about when you find a question, then yeah, absolutely, that grows my business.
And how important do you think it is? You said that lovely line, knowing, your business and knowing your, and I'm always saying to people, you have to know your stuff.
Yeah.
How important is it that people really know their stuff?
Very much so. If you get asked a question and you start stumbling over the answer, it just shows almost a lack of knowledge or a lack of confidence, and you don't really know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And if you can't get your story out to people, then yes, you're just not going to have that credibility. You've got to be confident in what you're doing, know what you're talking about.
Perfect. Glad she said. Angie has endorsed my Know Your Stuff line. So tell us, how did you feel the very first time you had to get up and speak to a group or an audience?
It's a long time ago now, but I started getting the cold sweats when you said that was going to be one of the questions. And oh my gosh, I can remember just going hot, cold, thinking I was going to pass out, I was going to be sick. Then the brain freeze of, what am I going to say? I don't even know my own name, let alone what I'm talking about. And it was complete fear. Rabbit in headlights.
But you did get on and actually do it.
I did do it.
Yeah. And how did you feel when you actually had done it and come off?
When I came off, I remember the first few times, again, I felt sick. So, oh my God, it was a huge sense of relief it was over. Then it was the panic of how did I come across? Oh, I must have been awful. They're going to think I'm awful. And then when people suddenly say, oh, that was really good, you think, that's it. That's really good, yeah. Okay, then. So the first time was the absolute worst. And then...
Yeah, it gets better. Yeah.
It does, yeah, it does.
So do you have any tricks or tips that you use to manage your fears or your nerves? Because we all still get nervous when we go and speak.
Absolutely. Still to this day, I will get the palpitations and get nervous. When I first started, somebody said to me, imagine your audience as being naked, which made me laugh. And then I thought, oh, yeah. No, I don't want to.
No. I said, no, we don't do that.
It made me realise, they're just human beings.
Yeah.
Then they said to me, speak to the back of the room as though your best friend is at the back of the room and talk to them. So that was
a really good tip.
One tip that's worked for me over time, because I see this with other people when they're speaking, they have reams of notes.
Yeah.
And then they're reading the notes so much. So then someone said bullet points, that's okay. But what works for me is actually visual images. So rather than say, oh, I've got to talk about my background, then I'll do images of where I've worked, what I've done. Because you glance at a picture, like I said, a picture paints 1,000 words.
Yeah.
So just some little images on note cards that I can flip over, and it reminds me of what I'm going to talk about next.
Sort of like a prompt, a
little prompt,
And that's lovely, because I always say to people when you're speaking, find the tool that works for you.
Yeah.
I won't use cards because I saw somebody drop them in the middle of a presentation and have them out because they couldn't get and so for me that's a stressor. But
absolutely. I just talk to anybody about anything, and I've done it for so long, but I found that really useful of when you glance down, once at notes and you lose your place.
Yeah.
Glance at bullet points, again you can get lost. So I just found the images
a really good idea. So add that to the tip list, ladies. Okay. Images. So that's speaking in public when you've got the audience in front of you. But doing webinar and video and online coaching, which you do, still a bit like public speaking, but you don't have the audience. How does that feel for you? How do you work with that?
I don't like it.
She says during an interview.
When I do my online coaching, I always encourage ladies to we do it by Skype, because it's not as perfect as being in front of somebody, but you can still see that person's interaction.
I agree.
I've got used to it now, doing the webinars and doing my recordings that I do for my business. I do
the Periscope ones.
Periscope, because you can't see what's going on the other side of the screen. And you think, is there anybody there?
You're very brave.
Are they interested in engaging with me? Because if you're in the front of in a room, you can gauge their body language.
That's right.
Back to that, but when you're just talking to whoever, I find it really disconcerting. But again, I just try and imagine I'm talking to my best friend who's the other side, and I'm just on a call with them. So I try and do it that way.
That's the thing, because I always say to people, you only talk to one person at a time, really, because we've only got the one set of ears, and you're talking like you talk to your best friend or your ideal client or whoever you. At least you think you're talking to someone.
Ideal client is far better than best friend,
Well, your best friend might be your ideal client.
Exactly, I pick that person and I'm talking to them.
Your best friend's more likely to ignore you then, so that might not be such a good idea. You've had a fight. So give us, not so much advice, but just some helpful something. I said advice to somebody before and said I don't like giving advice. So some helpful hints, if you like, to women who are really, really terrified. It's, they're just beginning that journey and they know they've got to do it. What would you say to them to help motivate them?
Okay. Practice makes perfect. The same with anything. The first time you get into a car and somebody says drive down the road, you're going to stall. It's going to be horrendous. Hit something. And it's just taking it step by step. I would start off just talking to yourself in the mirror.
Yeah.
then to maybe record yourself, not for anybody else to see, but just to do a recording so that you can judge how to a degree how you're coming across.
Yeah.
Be a small group of people, whether it's family, whether it's a group of friends to do practice with. And I actually find it more difficult talking sometimes to people I know, strangers.
Slightly more judgmental.
Exactly. If you start small and then build up, or get somebody to throw you right in the deep end, as I had once a few years ago, and that was terrifying. But I
sink or swim.
Exactly. Yeah, I had two choices. So
great.
That's perfect. And everybody messes up at times. Don't be afraid of it. Just
that's it.
A bit of humour up your sleeve.
Absolutely.
Oh, well.
Yeah, you're only human, and everybody knows that.
Yeah, exactly.
So now, if any of you have been to Angie's website, and if you haven't, you must. Angie has a picture of this gorgeous dog, and I need to know the name of the dog in the picture and the story behind the dog.
Okay, she was here just now. She's disappeared on me. My dog is Molly. She's a golden Labrador. She came into my life, like 12 months ago this week, actually. She was the friend's daughter's dog who couldn't look after her anymore. So she came into my life when I was feeling a bit low, and she's just become my shadow. Whenever I'm doing my recordings for my members and my webinars, she always appears somewhere, whether she's snoring in the background or she's taking so yeah, she's on my website because she just seems to be wherever I am.
Excellent. So thanks, Angie. That's been some great stuff you've given us. Now, can you just let everybody know how they can contact you if they need to work? So if you need to work with Angie, this is how you get hold of her.
Okay, if you go on to thesmallbusinesskit.com, that's my website, and there's a contact form on there. You can find out about my membership site, what I do, working with me. My Facebook page is linked on there, so you can come and join me there and have a chat. I'm quite friendly. I don't bite.
Or bark. So there you go. Go and look at Angie's site. Go and look on the Facebook page. What Angie does is great. I'm in one of her Facebook groups, and I'm always grabbing as much help as I can get. So thank you very much for that. And it's been great talking to you.
And to you both. Thank you.